McConnell invokes his wife's name to slam Trump's controversial immigrant remarks. The Hill. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, RKY, on Tuesday slapped down former President Trump's statement that immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country by pointing out Trump appointed his wife, Elaine Chao, who is Taiwanese American, to serve as Secretary of Transportation in 2016. Asked about Trump's controversial comments, which have drawn comparison to Nazi. Below are your comments. He won't lose a single vote or supporter over this. His supporters love this and agree with it. The people that are rightfully questioning it probably weren't going to support him anyway. Never been a big Mitch McConnell fan, but I give him credit for speaking out on Trump's comments regarding immigration. What baffles me is that the vast majority of Congress says our immigration laws are broken, yet no nay in Congress has proposed new immigration legislation. Congress hasn't passé. Donald Trump is running for office again because Mich, especially, and the entire GOP got him off the hook during his impeachments. And now they're perplexed? You reap what you sow, and they'll see the clear light next November 2024. There is an interesting parallel that can be drawn between Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham. McConnell has been in the Senate since 1985, Graham since 2003. McConnell, while long in the tooth, knows that there has to be a limit to which one can support the negative behavior of Donald Trump. Mitch could have ended Trump by telling his side to vote guilty in the second impeachment trial. Penalty would have included a ban from ever holding public office again. There was precedent for trying someone that was out of office. Mitch failed America. Mitch could have also backed up a 14th aim. Next news. Airtight, Colorado Trump case will be a test of Supreme Court's originalist principles. NBC. Sherilyn Ifill, founder of the 14th Amendment Center for Law and Democracy at Howard Law School, TA. LKS with Alex Wagner about what Congress was thinking when it added the 14th Amendment during Reconstruction and why that's bad news for Donald Trump if the Supreme Court conservatives are faithful to their claim of being originalists. Below are your comments. To those that say, let the voters decide, they miss the point and intent of the amendment. This is an exclusionary clause. The very historical intent was to take it out of the hands of the voters. Either we follow the Constitution or we don't. Trump and his co-conspirators planned and attempted to carry out a coup. They tried to illegally throw out millions of votes so Trump could retain the presidency against the will of the people. There is no caveat for due process in the amendment as the to all those wondering why he is charged this way without a trial. The 14th Amendment is self-actuating. There is no need for a trial or conviction for this amendment to be employed. The actions were seen by millions of people and we all saw the same thing. Well, at least the real Americans saw the The SCOTUS, Leonard Leo and the Federalist Society will be working overtime to figure out a way end this. All that originalism talk worked good for their efforts to overturn Roe v. Wade. However, it has backed them into a corner in this case. Of course, this group has no issues with lying. Gorsuch is going to have a tough time with this one. Does he bend over for Trump and contradict his own words on the issue of states deciding who can be on a ballot? Or stand by those words? Get the popcorn ready and stay tuned. Next news. Donald Trump is running scared. The New Republic. Donald Trump's lawyers are trying to prevent an expert witness from testifying in his upcoming defamation trial against writer Jean Carroll. In a fun twist, the expert witness is the same woman who helped set massive damages for Rudy Giuliani. A federal judge ruled in September that Trump is liable for defaming Carroll in 2019 and owes her monetary damages. The exact amount will be set during the trial, which will begin in January. Trump's lawyers filed a motion on Wednesday asking presiding Jew. Below are your comments. So let me get this right. Trump's attorneys are claiming the someone overstated the value of something by millions of dollars. Is there some problem with doing that? I thought they said it is standard business practice to overvalue things. Save it for the trial. She gets to have her experts testify, and you can have your experts testify and the jury will believe what they believe. I'm tired of all these fake proposals and delays from Trump's lawyers. If he is truly innocent as he believes, they should just go to trial and get it over. Oh, the irony of Trump complaining about the unfairness of a financial estimate being too high. You would think that he forgets this is exactly what he does when he claims his properties are worth 10 times their actual value. Not to mention that he claims his name makes properties worth billions. If Trump is as rich as he says he is, he should have no problem paying whatever amount is ordered. Lawsuits are to penalize people for harming others deliberately. The penalty should be to compensate the victim, and also to deter the defendant, so the bad behavior will not be repeated. A very large. Next news. Trump asks Supreme Court not to consider that thing he said, please. The New Republic. Donald Trump asked the Supreme Court on Wednesday to reject special counsel Jack Smith's request for the justices to decide whether the former president is immune to prosecution for trying to overturn the 2020 election. Trump has repeatedly claimed that he is immune to criminal proceedings because he was president at the time of his alleged crimes. Smith, who is investigating Trump for both trying to overturn the election and mishandling classified documents, filed an accelerated motion asking Below are your comments. You'd think Donald would want to expedite things so he can claim he was innocent the whole time. Especially with a court he put 3 justices on. Unless he fears they'll follow the law and not just blindly obey him. Everybody knows that the argument that Trump is immune will be rejected, including Trump's legal team. So this isn't about trying to win their motion. Otherwise they'd want the courts to rule on the motion. It's only about trying to delay the trial by slow-walking the motion through as many levels. Seeing Smith several steps ahead of Trump and his lawyers increases my confidence in finally seeing Trump arrested and behind bars for the rest of his life. Slowly the far right is losing its grip and eventually the real Republicans will take back their party. I guess we're going to see the true wisdom of the Supreme Court. One way they rule for democracy, the other way, no more holding Trump accountable. I just cannot imagine Trump only accountable to his own non-existent conscience. Okay, so, are you innocent, so you have nothing to worry about and you'll be exonerated? Next news. Wisconsin Elections Commission rejects complaint against Trump fake electors for second time. Associated Press. Wisconsin's Bipartisan Elections Commission, for a second time, has unanimously rejected a complaint against fake presidential electors who attempted to cast the state's ballots for Donald Trump in 2020. The Wisconsin Elections Commission first rejected the complaint in March 2022. The Elections Commission's discussion of the complaint, as well as its vote on Tuesday, was conducted in closed meetings. Below are your comments. So it's okay to cast electoral votes for the candidate who did not win the state? I guess whether something is legal or not depends on the politics of the alleged offender and the politics of those judging them. Odd logic at work here. So it's not illegal for the Wisconsin fake president electors to steal the identity of the real electors and cast a non-valid vote for Trump. But I am sure if a person stole the identity of an individual voter and cast a presidential vote, he would be arrested and prosecuted. What is wrong with Wisconsin? My guess the problem is conservative politics and shenanigans. Just one of the many ways conservatives tried to steal another election. So it's perfectly fine to fraudulently sign your name on an official document and pretend to be an elector. Let's just get everyone signed up as electors now. Another demonstration of how our elections system is a lot more fragile and subject to outrageous abuse than we thought it was. Next news. A masterful decision. Conservative scholar says Colorado decision will stand the test of time. NBC. The Colorado Supreme Court has ruled to remove Donald Trump from the state's presidential primary. He was declared ineligible under the U.S. Constitution's insurrection clause. Trump's attorneys have vowed to appeal to the Supreme Court. Celebrated conservative legal scholar and former federal judge J. Michael Luttig joins to break it all down. Below are your comments. Thank you, Colorado. Best Xmas present ever. Democracy is a little safer because he is not on their ballot. My favorite part is that he cannot be a write-in candidate either. Just because you, your supporters, fellow cult members or fans ignore facts doesn't mean the court will do the same. His supporters in the GOP Congress should be barred from running for re-election under Article 14. The Constitution explicitly gives the states the authority to do so. It's right there on the fine print. As clear as anything in the Constitution can be. Amendment 14 does not apply for the Jan. 6th riot. When written, the meaning in 1868 was not the same as the current meaning of the word insurrection. Regardless, the courts should never tell the citizens of any state who they can or cannot vote for in any election. It is a poor use of the word father. Next news. What does Colorado Supreme Court ballot removal ruling mean for Trump? NBC. After a Colorado Supreme Court kicked former President Donald Trump off of the 2024 ballot for violating the U.S. Constitution, NBC's Danny Cevallos breaks down how this decision will affect Colorado's election and how precedential it is outside of the state. Below are your comments. It is a state's legitimate interest in protecting the integrity and practical functioning of the political process that permits it to exclude from the ballot candidates who are constitutionally prohibited from assuming office. Judge Neil Gorsuch. It means more lawyer fees, which his supporters will pay for. It has no precedent outside of Colorado. However, that said, it means other state courts will weigh the arguments made by the Colorado SC. It is unclear if the USSC has jurisdiction to hear this case, as they do not have appellate jurisdiction over state law from state SCs, ballot and voting AR. Colorado's Electoral College votes will probably not be in Trump's column no matter what. Biden beat Trump by 14 points in Colorado in 2020. It means more votes. Unfortunately, this will only fuel the unfair world is out to get us Trump narrative. Next news. Mary Trump splatters uncle with priceless picture after Colorado news. HuffPost. Donald Trump's niece needed only 3 words and an image to roast him after the development. Below are your comments. If the people never take the time to understand what a government can and cannot do, then the government will do anything it wants. The founders made it so the people were supreme and the governments we the subjects of the people. That has now been reversed and the people conditioned to accept that. I can see the state court making the call, but taking it to a higher court does not make sense. The 14th Amendment Section 3 is as clear as a bell, and the fact that any lawyer or judge don't see it that way makes me wonder how they even practice law. From city council to the president are elected POS. Any bets on what he'd try to do to the SCOTUS as they ruled against him in this, and somehow he still won the election? My money would be on dictatorship 101, with him rewriting rules to allow for the president to unilaterally dismiss a judge, and of course, appoint his own. I'm surprised his favorite condiment isn't orange marmalade. Next news. Can Haley beat Trump? See what new polls say. CNN's senior data reporter Harry Enton discusses new polls that show GOP candidate Nikki Haley may be chipping away at former President Donald Trump's lead in the presidential race. Below are your comments. I know this is gonna cause an uproar. I am a Democrat, but I would be okay with her. I wish we could return to the days that sometimes your person won the election and sometimes mine won. And we still could sit down and talk to each other, be friends, and accept our differences. Yes, she absolutely can beat Trump, no question about it. She has the momentum and backing with more on the way to beat Trump. However, she needs support from every voter to assure a win. First time I voted was for Ronald Reagan. Then I watched as he allowed the corporate autocracy to deplete our tax revenue coffers. His 2 tax bills tripled our budget deficits, exploded our debt, and laid the groundwork for the $32 trillion of debt we have today. Next news. Biden camp posts graphic with Trump pictured next to Hitler. Politico. The move was both highly aggressive and part of a calculated effort to link the 45th president and he Nazi leader. Below are your comments. As has been said many, many times over, the communists accuse others of what they have been and are doing. This is right out of their playbook. Come on, man, where is the professionalism, treating others with dignity and respect, even if we have differing views? No wonder the youth of this nation have no proper guidance and direction. Trump isn't even hiding it anymore. What's the rhetoric going to be in 2 years from now? Fascism, a political system headed by a dictator in which the government controls business and labor, and opposition is not permitted. But only one day one, right? Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.